Here's the record button. Okay, and I'm going to mute Jessica. So I want to welcome tonight to our team call Jessica Rayner. I'm really, really excited to have her share her story with you guys tonight. I met her and instantly was attracted to her. She's very raw, she's very real, she's very upfront and honest and says it like it is. And what attracted me to her was that she was a mom. She was a successful mom. She was doing well. And it really wasn't for the money. It was all these other important things like children and family and time freedom and summers at the shore house. And she decided and she did it. And how many of you are just sitting on the fence waiting to make that decision? So I'm really, really excited and I'm thrilled to learn from you tonight, Jess. Jessica is an 8-star Golden Circle, 6 personally created executive. She is an Isagenix millionaire. She's a Pennsylvania gal, and she is here to share her story with us tonight. So big hand welcome. We're really, really excited to have you. Thank you so, so much.
Oh my gosh. You know I adore your team. I remember being at an event and just thinking like, gosh, this is such a fun group of people. And I adore Ed, and you guys are just, you're awesome. It's a real mutual love and respect for this team and the leadership you guys have. So I'm so excited that this worked out. I was saying to you earlier, I'm so honored that you asked me to be on this call.
Yeah, and I'm glad that we finally made it happen, and I appreciate you being here. I know life gets busy. You have a Super Saturday coming. You're training at NYKO. You have 4 kids now, so I know that life gets a little bit crazy. So let's dive right into it. Share your story with us tonight because yours is one that's a little bit different. How did you come to Isagenix?
The really interesting thing is, a lot of people have heard, I had a very successful corporate career. I was a very early employee of a company called eCount. And a lot of people that have been in Isagenix for a period of time remember that we used to get paid, before the IsaWallet card, we were paid on an eCount card. I was the 5th employee of eCount. And for that company, I ended up running corporate sales. But in particular, I ran the network marketing vertical. But besides Isagenix, which I helped Isagenix set up that program. Besides Isagenix, clients were Amway and Mary Kay and Herbalife and Arbonne and any company that had a cash position. We were helping them facilitate commission payments to their representatives. And in 2008, we sold eCount to Citibank for $250 million. And I was a primary equity holder in that company. And for 4 years, I stayed on at Citibank running network marketing. Citibank didn't have a good sense of, network. We didn't have a lot of network marketing clients that were bank clients. And we said, this is an amazing industry. And so I was part of the DSA. I went to all the DSA functions. I sat on one of the boards of the DSA. And so I knew the industry from that perspective. I knew compensation plans from the perspective of, we are issuing the payments to people. I had a special love for Isagenix as a company because when they tell you at events that they talk about, if it's not right for the associate, it's not right for the company. When I tell you that is said in every meeting, it truly is something the executives say. Because we were Citibank, we were wanting to charge fees to associates on the card. We wanted to charge fees to withdraw funds off of the cards because we didn't make money when people did certain things with the cards. And so I will tell you, Isagenix resisted. Unlike most network marketing companies that said, well, if you have to charge fees, that's your business. Isagenix said, we will take care of the fee or it will not be charged. If it's not right for the associate, it's not right for our company. And they are true to that. And I always had this special just fondness for the company, but we had an integrity clause. We couldn't try any products. And everywhere we go, companies would try to give us samples of their product or a piece of their jewelry or some of their makeup. And you couldn't accept anything. And after I left Citibank, so 4 years later, I left Citibank. I went to go and I had another equity stake in another company. LinkedIn was looking to acquire us. So I tell you guys this because God has made me a steward of some good things, right? He put me in great situations with companies. And I think he's given me an ability to to really identify a good situation and to be able to take root and dig in when I get there. But I was in this another corporate situation that looked like it was a very good situation, but I felt terrible. And a neighbor said, I'm having great success with Isagenix. And I said, I know that company. I know nothing about their products, but I had tried so many things. And I said, you know what? I'll try it. I was 100% skeptical, but I'll try it. And really early on, I thought, wow, I feel great. And I thought it was the power of self-suggestion. Someone tells you that you're going to feel great. You feel great, and then you're questioning it. But I said to some neighbors, guys, I don't know if this is legit, but it's money back guarantee. Maybe you want to try it too. Why don't you hold me accountable? Because you guys know I'll go off the rails if I don't have proper chaperoning. And so 5 people said they wanted to try it. And that night I got a call from a woman, and some people know her name's Jannie Elo. And so Jannie found me in her blueprint. So that's clue number 1, guys. Check your blueprints. Don't just rely on Isopulse. Check your blueprints. And what I mean by blueprints is you're looking at your executive reports. Everybody has. I mean, some people have more extensive reports. Once you get to 2-star, you get a more extensive reports. But you have reports that are going to show you who's enrolling on your team. Check your blueprints. She found me in her blueprint, saw someone had enrolled 5 people in a day. So she called me and said, I want to talk to you about the business. And I said, that is so nice that you would contact me. And I really appreciate that. I am not interested. I understand exactly what you mean about the business opportunity. Believe me, more than most people. I used to go to conventions for network marketing companies. I understand what you mean. That's not for me. So the second thing I wanted you to hear me say is that sometimes people have a misalignment in their identity. And I knew what she was talking about, but I didn't see it for myself. And a lot of times, I bet there's people in your businesses, guys, that could blow the doors off of this opportunity. But there's a total misalignment in how they see themselves. There's some misunderstanding of either the industry or how they could be a part of the industry. And so I want you to hear this, what she said to me. So I said, thank you so much, but no thank you. And she said, do you mind if I share my story? Of course. I was honored that she called me. She started telling me her story. She said, anybody on this call who doesn't know, if by a show of hands, do you guys know who she is? She's the 96 millionaire. They call her the millionaire maker, as they rightly should, because her team includes Kelly Dickerhoof, Laura Stevens, Tanya Kirkpatrick, Tracy O'Malley, Lauren Sims, just an extensive list. She's the millionaire maker, and that's true. I think there's 12. She's personally mentored 12 millionaires, if I'm not mistaken. Kayla Kraft, Betsy Frames, a lineup of people who are just these hits. So, but what she said to me extremely humbly is she said, listen, my husband played in the NBA for 12 seasons, a professional basketball player. And I remember that I put my phone on mute. I asked my husband if he'd ever heard of her husband in the NBA. He's like, oh my gosh, yeah, he was on a Nike poster in my room growing up, which if you know about her husband, he's a pretty well-known guy. And I said to my husband, I was still on mute, I said, Bernie Madoff must have been their money manager. What the heck was she doing in network marketing? She called me. This is his wife on the phone calling me to talk about being in network marketing. And he said, well, we'll finish the conversation. 3 kids need a bath. I said, okay, let me see what else she has to say. And so she starts telling me about what got her interested. And she said, I had a hold of these products and put them in my body. And I looked at Craig and I said, I will never be off them. And I felt that I had something that could affect so many people. I knew I could positively impact so many people. She said, I looked around at all my friends and they were suffering in silence. And she said, I'm going to be honest with you though. I have a gift for helping mentor people to create something really beautiful with this. And she said this, she said, Jessica, it's a mission business. It's kingdom building. And I have a vision that I'm going to help bring tired parents home from jobs that don't serve them. You have no idea, guys, what you're going to say to people that's going to impact them. Because she was talking to someone who at the time was making a very significant income and on the precipice of selling our second company to a large organization. So money or a job wasn't going to touch me. But when she said it was a mission business and it was kingdom building, she was talking to someone who had started to feel this restlessness inside myself. And if you've never felt that I just thought, man, some days I think I'm a monkey on a wheel. I'm a hamster on a wheel. I'm a monkey doing this job. Anyone could be doing this job. And so I thought, this bringing tired parents home from jobs that don't serve them, that's a bold thing to say. Bold thing to say. And I think she asked me at what point, like what kind of income would make this worth your time at one point. And I remember telling her, and she didn't even blink. She had boldness, and she doesn't blink. She has belief that strong. And when you're talking to people ask me, how do you, I think one of the gifts that I have in Isagenix is I can really cast the vision of what's possible for people. The confidence in knowing that it's absolutely certain is so important. If you ever go to UIA, and you have David Wood will tell you, if you guys do this exercise on your team, and I'm sure you do with leaders like Angela and Eddie, you do this, you're rating your belief 1 to 10 in Isagenix, in the industry, in the comp plan, in yourself, in the products. Well, I always ask people when they say about the comp plan, and the people rate a 10, comp plan's 10. Well, we know it's a good comp plan, right? But here's the challenge. People believe it's a great comp plan. They believe that you can make money. But I ask people, rate it again with your belief that you can make $1 million in Isagenix. It's a great comp plan, because a lot of people, when they rate it a 10, what they're envisioning is Angela Maresca is going to make $1 million. It's a good comp plan. But I want you to look in the mirror and tell me, what's the number? You believe it's a good comp plan. Is it good enough? Can you make 6 or 7 figures in Isagenix? That's a key. When you share the vision, if that's locked up, it's an energy. Because I can look at anybody and go, you could make 7 figures in Isagenix. If I can do it, you can do it. If it's possible for one, it's possible for all. And I tell them, literally, we created a virtual franchise. But I digress from my story. So Janny says this bold thing about, she's going to bring she has this gift for bringing tired parents home from jobs that didn't serve her. Not many people took her seriously. She's an MBA wife, but she just knew that she had a gift. God had given her this gift. And I thought, this woman is she's either mad or brilliant. And I don't know which, but I'm willing to concede that she's right. These products are awesome enough. We should share them. And she said also, you're either sharing or you're stingy. Which I don't think that's something that she created, but it's a very true statement. And when you say that to people, how can you argue? If you have a hold of something amazing and you look out among people you care about and they're suffering, and if you don't know they're suffering, you're not listening, because I can't have a conversation to this day that in some way someone's not pleading for some solution. I can't wait to have a cup of coffee. I'm so tired. Again, I didn't sleep. Do you know a sleep medication? I'm going to do some new yoga poses and hope that I can rebalance my body. I've been working out like crazy and the pounds aren't budging. Like, if you don't hear that in your daily life, you're not listening. Yeah. And if you have a hold of a solution that could help people and you're going to keep quiet about it, why would you withhold that? You're sharing or you're stingy. 2 options. And she said that to me, and I thought, she's right. So literally, as I'm on the phone with her, I crafted a post, right? And Facebook, I think Facebook people rely on it and then they get discouraged. But Facebook is like a billboard. If you live near a major highway, Facebook is a billboard. And I see a billboard of something and I go, wow, that looks cool. Dr. Malabi's giving out breast augmentation. That's cool. Will I call him? I don't know. But what I'll tell you is I look at it and go, that's neat. And that's how Facebook can be. People are looking at it, guys. They may not engage you. So if you put up a Facebook post, that can't be the only way you build a business. But I happened to put up a Facebook post and I just said something to the effect of, slipped into jeans I didn't think I'd wear again. I am one satisfied customer. Thank you. Tag the person that enrolled me. Thank you for getting me started. And a lot of people wrote me and go, what are you doing? Because I'm looking for something. And that doesn't happen as much anymore, right? Facebook has started to change the algorithms, the way people are engaging, the rise of network marketing. But I got a lot of interest from that first post. And I was like, people are suffering more than I thought. A lot of people wrote me that I was shocked that they had written me. And so it started to be fun. A couple of people said they wanted to do it. Oh, this is cool. This is fun. I can do this. And people that know what was happening with me, I was a vice president of sales. I traveled constantly. I was chairman's preferred on US Air. I traveled 2 days a week, generally to New York City from Philadelphia. I had 3 little kids, twins at the time that were 6 and an 8-year-old daughter. My husband and I own a bunch of real estate that we bought, started buying real estate at the Cape May County, New Jersey, 13 years ago, and then we run it ourselves. So when people say that they don't have the time, the best people in this business are the busiest, the people with the slimmest margin of time, and we can show them, here's how you just make yourself efficient. So it was fun to sign up a couple of people. It didn't take a lot of time. I had a commute. I'd be talking to people, and I'd be like, listen, hold on one second. We're going to three-way call in somebody with a pen. And I'd literally call my nanny and I go, hey, this person, while I talk, write this person's information down so I can put it in the computer. Like I did what I could to enroll people. Or I'd be stuck in traffic and I'd be like, hey, hold on one second. You better quick tell me till traffic starts moving. I'll write it down while I'm stopped here. But that's what I'd be doing. And then people here, Angela's a major enroller. I had enrolled a lot of people in November. I started this program 11 days before Thanksgiving, 2013. So I'm just about 3 years in. But a lot of people hear that I enrolled a lot of people those first 2 months and they want to know how I did it. What I would do, guys, is it got to be fun. And so I would write to people. Literally, my messages would say this. I had a long list of people, but I would also take a big chunk of Facebook. I was so disorganized at the time, but I would have like 7 people on my mind. And I would write them. And then those 7 people I'd write, and it would happen so fast that I'd write another 7. And what I would say to them is, hey, I don't know if you saw my Facebook post. This program is blowing my mind. I know you and I have talked about how exhausting it is being a working mom. I think you'd love it. We should chat. It was shorter even than that. Copying and pasting that to 7 people took about 3 minutes. And I was like, oh, that's fun. Here's 7 more people that just came to my mind. And I'd toss it out. My husband had already gone to bed. My kids were in bed. Maybe I would have been reading. Maybe I would have been watching some mindless TV. But then I was like, this is too fun. And then one girl, she still hasn't enrolled because it was 2:00 in the morning. And I could finally sleep through Isagenix, but I couldn't sleep because I was so excited. And she's like, I was so all in on your message. You said you're loving the program. You're feeling great. You're sleeping. And then I looked at the timestamp and the message came at 2:00 in the morning and I don't believe you. And I wrote her back. I was like, Marsha, I could sleep fine. Except I can't sleep because I'm too darn excited. Everyone needs to know about it. Yeah. But I just really poured into it. And then one of the most brilliant things, people want to know, how did you make $1 million in a little over 2 years? This is how. The catalyst was, I give so much credit to Jannie Elo because she ragged me. Ragged is the only way to say this, guys. Ragged me to get to NYKO. So imagine 11 days before Thanksgiving, I start the program. I have no interest in any business. She calls me and I start saying, sharing's fun. Shared with 14 people in November, 36 in December. It's fun. Got to executive. I'm having fun. But I had a full-time job, 3 little kids. We're trying to sell this company. Like, I'm not really thinking I'm going to, in January, go to NYKO. I called it NYCO in Dallas. Like, get out of here. It was in Dallas that year. Yeah. So she just kept on me. And I was just like, no way. So that's the third thing I want to tell you guys. People are never, ever going to go to an event the first time you ask them because they don't know. So much of this business is people don't know what they don't know. So we need to fill in the blanks. You need to be their belief and just tell them this is what's happening. You're going to NYKO. I'm going to help you get there. You can thank me later. But she stayed on me after I said no. I never, ever really, if there's somebody that I go, wow, if that person got a seat at an event, I will not stop until you get there. And here's why. 2 days before NYKO was going to happen, it was kind of on my mind, like, she really wants me to go. This lady's, she's a fun lady. She's a nice lady. It's almost creepy how much she wants me to go to this crazy event. And some people know Lauren Sims. She just was on President's Class. Lauren Sims, she had her call me. We both would stay up so late doing this. And we ran together. She was my running partner. We're not financially connected, but Jannie was mentoring us both at the same time. And Lauren was calling me. It was like 1:00 in the morning in Philadelphia. Lauren's calling me on the phone. I was still up at my desk working. And she's like, you got to go. You got to get to NYKO. And something about me was like, you know what? I'm going to go. I went for a little over 24 hours. And I went to NYKO and I heard Alexis Romano speak. And when you guys, if you haven't been to an event, has anybody on this, let me put it in gallery view, has anybody not? just by a raise of hands, has anybody never been to an Isagenix corporate event? You've never been? Ask Mangum. Never been. Is she the only one? Anybody else? Okay, there's a bunch of hands. Okay. All right, Randall. You're not Randall, though. Okay.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you're Randall. Okay.
But I'm going to Super Saturday and I'm going to NYKO.
You're a genius. You're an absolute genius because it changed my whole life. I will tell you that I looked around and I was like, whoa, wait a second. This is possible. This is not only possible, it's likely. They literally had to I was like, get out of the way. I got to go. We are going to do something humongous. And I tore out of it. It was like, if I would have never gone to NYKO, I don't know what would have happened. I look at these people that are impacted and I speak and people say like that touched me and things where my family's been able to do. And I think seriously, without NYKO, there's no way. There's no way because I would have been distracted by a corporate job. I would have gotten back on the hamster wheel and I would have said, this isn't real. I wouldn't have seen it. I learned more in those little over 24 hours than Janie probably could have taught me in 2.5 years. And so that was so important. But I got to NYKO and then I came home and I started saying to my friends, I said, guys, I saw what's possible. Get everyone you love because we are going to take this to the moon. We are going to make such a massive impact. We've got a vehicle I can't even believe. And some people know one of my biggest team builders is a woman named Adrienne McGovern. She's about to be 6-star. She's my neighbor at the beach. And by all accounts, people look at me and they go, well, you have a corporate background. You were in sales. Of course you were able to do this. Adrienne is my neighbor at the shore. My entire beach house could fit in Adrienne's kitchen. Her husband has a ridiculously good job. She's a stay-at-home mom. Like me, she has twins and a daughter. And that was about our similarities, but we were great friends. And she got on the product with her husband. I said, Adrienne, get everyone you love. And she said, are you crazy? I've never even sold a Girl Scout cookie. I've stayed home for 6 years. Before that, I was a school psychologist. I'm telling you, I see the vision of what's possible. We can create something so beautiful with this. And she's created something really beautiful. She got her best friend and her sister, and they'll all stand on stage and I'm like, as 6-figure earners. It's amazing. But when I look at people with the vision, I say, you can do this. People of all ages, all genders, all religions, all everything. Anyone, this opportunity is the same. We all have the same brown box and we all have a different journey. So I got to NYKO, still working this crazy job balancing, had a live-in nanny. My kids, even though my schedule was pretty flexible because I worked from home some of those times, you make choices. And anybody here, a parent that's working and trying to build Isagenix? Anybody? You know it's challenging. Hats off to you. It's not easy. That's so cute, Vanessa. Oh, Vanessa, how awesome. It's not easy because you have to make choices, right? You have to make choices in Isagenix. You have to make choices when you're working about balance. And somebody once told me, and I ran the Women's Council at Citibank, and someone said, Jessica, anybody who tries to tell you it's about balance is an idiot. That's pretty extreme. But what they said after it is so true. It's about mix. Because some days you're going to be 100% mom. And some days you're going to be nothing Isagenix, and other days you're going to be 100% Isagenix and nothing mom. That's a mix. If you try to balance these things, guys, it's going to be hard. But what I saw after NYKO is that success loves speed. And I thought, man, there is something in my soul that's restless to make something huge. And some of you have probably heard my story that, the income kept growing. My husband looked at me at one point and said, this is amazing. It's insurance because we didn't know what was going to happen with the company. And in May of that year, my daughter, who at the time was 8, I'm flying down the hallway, my second floor. I'm late for my train to New York, and I think I'm going to miss my train. Here I come with one heel on, one heel in my hands, trying to put it on. And at the same time, my 8-year-old daughter is coming out of her bedroom. And for parents, if you've ever looked at your child and it's like you're seeing them for the first time, I looked at her and her jeans were 4 inches too short. And it was like the whole world stopped. I didn't care about the train anymore. I looked at her and I thought, I'm missing it. And for what? And someday I'm going to get to a point in my life where I'm going to look back and I will never get this time back. And I thought, I have Isagenix, and if I really put the pedal to the metal, I could do something big. But I'm here like dabbling around with it. And the whole way driving to 30th Street Station, I just kept thinking, I'm missing it. And for what? And I just knew that if I could put the dedicated time into Isagenix, I knew I could do something with it. And that really, I got on the train and I texted my best friend who lives in New York, and I said, Paige, I'm going to walk away. I'm going to leave this. I'm going to leave People Inc. and I'm going to go do Isagenix full time. And she said, and this is kind of the fifth thing, is that she said, I can't believe you're going to walk away from a company to go sell shakes out of your trunk. And I said, girlfriend, I have an SUV. I don't even have a trunk, number one. And number two, what you don't understand is I'm going to take these products that we're obsessed with. I'm going to create a massive global distribution, and we're going to change so many lives. So hear that part, guys. People are going to doubt you. People are going to not believe in your vision, and people are going to want to derail you. They are going to want to keep you in a box that looks really safe because maybe you went to school and you have a job, and that's what people do, right? We trade time, and we have regrets, and we despise Sunday nights, and Mondays suck, and other people want you to look like them. And so she just didn't understand. How could you leave what's comfortable and traditional and expected and do this wildly insane thing like sell shakes out of your trunk as if I was going to have a trench coat full of Isoline, right? And I told her, you're crazy. That's not what we're going to do. You should join me. But that day I told them I'm leaving. I'm walking away. I'm leaving equity on the table, and I'm going to leave. And my family, I told you 13 years ago, my husband and I started buying real estate at the Jersey Shore, investment properties that we rented or sold. And one house is ours that we use. And I love this house so much. Just thinking about this house, I'm at such peace. We look out at the ocean. It's a beautiful place. But here's the thing. My kids would be the kids that we drive down. You guys aren't that far. So if anybody's ever done this, you drive down the Atlantic City Expressway, the Garden State Parkway, Friday night, bumper to bumper. Kids are grumpy. They're watching movies. They're in pajamas. They get down there and go right to bed. Saturday's amazing. Sunday morning, you wake up and you're like, ugh, all right, go to the beach. And then it's like our kids have to get off the beach, get showered, get back in pajamas, and start the commute home. That was what their summer weekends used to look like. But in the summer of 2014, when I said I'm going all in with Isagenix, we lived at the beach. And my twins and my daughter, I literally watched them boogie board. And it was the first time in their life they had a mom that wasn't attached to a BlackBerry and an iPhone, like on the beach, like asking my husband, can you wait? I got to go take a conference call. I need to do a board presentation. Mom that wasn't distracted. I was like, we are going to build this business from the beach, but I'm going to build it with my family. And we literally lived at the shore that summer. And it was the best summer. My kids will never forget. The summer 2014 was like our live-in nanny got a new family and they got their mom back. And then I'll tell you that my why evolved. And Angela, I'm giving into so much detail. I don't know if you guys want me to cut this short.
Love it. I love it. I have a million questions, but I want to keep listening.
Yeah, you asked me about Q&A, but I got...
No, keep going.
I'm just going with the A. All right. So the bottom line is, and I'll tell you, it evolves. Like if you've been in Isagenix for a while and you've seen your journey evolve, it's amazing. Because I heard Deanna Falchuk present. And every Monday we used to do open houses and tasting parties in my basement. And on my team was a woman who was fostering a little boy. And he was 18 months old. And my kids just loved him. And they said, baby Gabriel, he was 18 months old. He wore a size 9 months. And my kids saw this little boy and they understood, Megan on my team was his foster mom. And they just thought that was so cool. And it was like God was just stirring it up. I remember just like praying, like, God, you're really going to use shakes to fill this need for me to serve. It was what I originally thought. And I heard Deanna Falchuk share her story. And Deanna just was announced, I think the 200th million.
200. That's
200.
my President's Quest sister. 200. Her and Carolyn.
She changed my life in a big way. But I heard her tell her story. And if you guys haven't ever heard her story, her platform's Adoptogenix. Her story is so amazing. And it was at ICU Miami. I know you were there, Angela. I remember it was one of the first times I had met you. And I heard her story, and I was like so deeply moved by her story. And I just felt so deeply called to do something that I called my husband from the hallway. And if you guys are in the story you're hearing, I had a live-in nanny for 6 years. My twins were 2 weeks old when a woman named Cynthia came to live in our basement and lived with us as family, but helped raise my kids. And I traveled like Chairman's Preferred on US Air. Every other week I was in California for 24 hours. So can you imagine the kind of mom that I really was? Sort of disconnected, not great. I didn't clean my own. I wasn't connected, but I called my husband after, here's this period of time that I had been like a full-time mom and I called him and I just said, Doug, I just heard this story. I really feel like we need to become a foster family. And I thought that he would say, you're a hot mess. Like, you don't even know what you're doing with your own kids yet. Like, let that fall into place a little more. But he was like, you know what? I agree. And the coolest thing is that we went through the training together. And anybody in here, foster family, know foster parents? Anybody know through the process? It's not easy, right?
I worked for Child Protective Services for 7 years, and I've placed a lot of children in foster homes. And Victoria Brunetti is another caseworker who is now earning a 6-figure income with our team. And it's very difficult. It's very hard.
There you are, Victoria. Hey, sweetie. Victoria, I met you in Maui, and then before that. And before that. So the process wasn't easy. You go through a lot of, we had to be all in, like your family's in it. And last February, we had a placement last year in September. We had siblings. It was our first placement. And my family was so all in. My kids were so all in. And they were with us for about 45 days. And they were great kids, but they were 9 and 10 years old. And we were happy for them. Like, they got a good outcome. And then a while went by. And in February 23rd, I got a call and they said, we have a little boy, he's 3 years old. He needs to come to you today at 4:00. Are you guys willing to take him? He's only going to be with you for 3.5 weeks. And we were like, 3.5 weeks. Okay. We could totally do that, because in about 4.5 weeks, we were going on what our family had planned as our dream vacation, which was Disney World and getting on a Disney cruise. We're like, this is perfect timing. That's great. And he came and he was holding a stuffed tiger with one eye and his little pillow and this tattered, stinky blanket and the clothes on his back. And that's what he came with. And he said maybe 5 words. He was in the 3rd and the 5th percentile for height and weight, but he was seriously gorgeous. Like, I would go places with him and people would say he's so handsome, and I would be like, I agree. Isn't he gorgeous? And he was just a doll, but he was so little. He was, he was about to, we got him February 23rd, he turned 3 March 7th. So he had no concept of potty training at all. He would point at the TV and say some of the things that he would say were like Mickey Mouse. You could tell, his mom had been a heroin user, his dad also. A lot of issues. He was found, him and his brother were found in a dumpster, basically in January, with wearing a diaper and nothing else, going through a neighbor, doing some construction, their dumpster in their driveway. So he had his life that wasn't great, but hey, grandmom is going to assume custody in 3.5 weeks. So perfect. And we get him and we just are like, this boy, he lights up a room. He didn't say a lot, but he would smile, the happiest, just love. He was just love everywhere, love. And so around the 2.5 week mark, I got a call from our social worker saying that his grandmother had withdrawn her custody request and that we were going to need to keep him longer. And that's great, except for the part where we were getting ready to go on our trip. And I said to her, she said, that's fine, because he can go to respite care. And so if you don't know the foster system, respite care means another foster family. So here's this little boy that's been uprooted. One morning he lives with his mom and a dad and his half brother, and the next he's at a stranger's home. And I thought, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do that. And so I had about 10 days to be able to figure out how to get him on this trip. And I said, when I talk about him having God's favor, there's no other way to explain it. People said, you're never going to be able to take him, because his parents had to agree that he could go. The court had to write an order that he could leave the country. He didn't have a birth certificate, or his parents couldn't find it. He didn't have a passport. And you can imagine a flight from Philly to Orlando at spring break. The flights were about full. And so the story just of what you're a part of in Isagenix, guys, I had the time and the resources to throw whatever it took. And people said, you're crazy. And on Friday, I got a court order. That Friday, I got a court order. The judge signed an order saying he could leave the country. And people were like, first of all, that in itself is amazing. On Fridays, if you know, Angela, on Fridays, judges aren't writing orders typically, right? They're usually golfing or having lunch. Out to lunch. Right. So it's not typical, but on a Friday, I get this court order. They say, come pick it up. And then they said, well, birth certificate. You guys most of you are in New York, but in Pennsylvania, they said 6 weeks is about what we typically would expect to get a birth certificate. And I said, well, I've got nothing but time. And I've got this little boy, and we'll drive to the state capital, Harrisburg. So we drive to Harrisburg, and we're the first people in there, and here I'm wheeling him through, and it's cold, and I have a stroller, and I took him up to the window, and you can imagine what a government employee working at the Office of the Birth Certificate, Office of Public Records, I think it's called. Imagine what they're so jaded. It's not a great job. Harrisburg's dismal. It's a terrible day. She had every reason to be in a bad mood and tell me to hit the road. But I just told her his story, and she looked at me put her eyes up over her glasses, and she said, come back in 3 hours. And I was like, wow. Okay. So we come back in 3 hours, and then people said, the biggest challenge you're going to have is the passport. And if anybody's ever tried to get a passport, it's not easy. So we're calling the passport office, and you have to have an appointment. I've been down there before, and it says signs everywhere. You're required to have an appointment. If you don't have an appointment, leave, basically, are the signs. I couldn't get an appointment until the day we were leaving on this trip. And again, Isagenix allowed me. I had so much belief that it was going to happen. That's personal development. I had so much belief, but I also had time. So I drove to the U.S. passport office in Philadelphia. And if you guys been to a passport office, there's someone who queues the lines. And generally, they're like the meanest person in the world. They generally tell you, leave. And so I told the woman his story. And she was like, sit down. You could tell that story to the passport agent. And I was like, wow, okay. And so I go and I get this burly looking passport agent, and I tell him the story. And this is why I tell you guys it's divine, because she said, come back in 3 hours. And I was like, wow. And we left Philadelphia with a passport. And so on the way home, I called my travel agents, also an Isagenix business partner, 3-star Golden Circle, Denise Wiggins, Spirit of Isagenix. A lot of people know Denise, but I called her and I was like, we need a seat on the flight. We got the last seat from Philly to Orlando, 1 seat left. We got it. We rearranged cabins, and this little boy got to go and see Mickey Mouse. And it was the coolest thing. And I tell people, it's not about the money, but I will tell you, you can imagine trying to put all that together in a couple of days, trying to get a seat on that plane, having to get another cabin on a Disney cruise. It was really expensive, right? For a 3-year-old boy. But I will tell you, it was worth every second, every mile I had to drive, every minute I spent on it, every dollar to see his face when he saw Mickey Mouse. And now, guys, he's still with me. He's still with our family, and he's now in the 45th and the 47th percentile for height and weight. Sometimes he makes my ears tired with talking, talks to me so much. He's such a part of our gang. We had our Christmas cards pictures taken yesterday, and they won't allow him to be in our Christmas card, but he was in a lot of pictures. But there was a picture, a number of pictures that were just just my biological kids and my husband and I, and he cried I want to be with them. And so that's what Isagenix did. It gave him a family. And we just started the reunification process today, where he'll reunify, God willing, he'll reunify with his dad in February, but he'll go on another vacation with us in April. And when people tell me that you're just part of a shake company or a shake thing or a pyramid thing, I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea. And people know, like, we made $1 million. And people want to know, like, did you buy a fancy car? Did you buy a new beach house? Did you buy a lot of fun things? You know what we did? We give with reckless abandon, and nothing fills my heart. Nothing has touched my kids in quite that way. Because he'll leave and go back and have a great, and I hope that he has memories. But honestly, Isagenix did that. In a million years, and as a corporate working mom, I told you guys I was barely a mom to my own kids. I can admit that now. Isagenix did that. So when people doubt what you're a part of, you have a virtual franchise with an unlimited income, and that gives you power, infinite power to create impact. And you might not be into fostering. Probably, I personally have an agenda. I hope you all become foster parents. I hope you tell someone my story and they become foster parents. There's 4 people who've told me that they're either starting the foster process, or one is actually ready for a placement. And that I have an agenda, just like Deanna Fauci shared it with me. Because honestly, if nothing else ever happens in my whole life, it mattered what we were able to do for him. The Disney cruise mattered, right? It touched it, but it not just touched. People say he's lucky to have gotten our family. We are so lucky to have gotten him, and we would have never without this opportunity in this vehicle. What you're a part of is massive. And if you could seriously, just for a second, imagine your life completely different. Because what I said earlier is that people's issue is that they believe in this compensation plan, but they don't tie it here. They don't believe that they're a 6-figure earner. So what I make my team do is I literally say, sometimes we go down a leadership retreat down to our beach, me and my neighbor, Adrian McGovern, we live next door to each other at the beach, and we're literally on the beach, and people that are like, your ability is massive. Your influence, you're a magnet for people, and you're stuck in a 2-star triangle, which a lot of people get into, right? There's this 2-star suck. Angela, do you guys feel like that?
Yes.
This is a place where people get stuck. And when we get them, there's a couple things we do to get them out of it. The first thing is, you better put on a big poster board, my name is, fill in your name. I'm a 6-figure earner in Isagenix, and I bring a lot of people with me to get to 6 figures. And that's what kind of identity. You better pronounce it. We do this. We go, yes, I can. Yes, I can, as a group. And you should do it, because honestly, there is so much power in declaring it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't one of you come off mute? I just want to hear you say it. Someone who's in a 2-star triangle. Is anybody here in the 2-star rut willing to get Honorable Sophia?
Yeah.
Sophia, can we go through this exercise with you?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm going to pronounce your last name right. So my name is Sophia.
My name is Sophia Valeras.
I am a 6-figure earner in Isagenix.
I'm a 6-figure earner in Isagenix.
And I help other people create 6-figure incomes.
And I help other people create same incomes.
Everybody come off mute. Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
I can.
Yes,
Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
I can.
Yes, I can.
Do you feel that? Do you feel when there's a disconnect between knowing that Angela can earn $1 million and believing that you can? Sophia, you're a 6-figure earner in Isagenix. I mean, you declared it. I believe it. I'm looking at you thinking, I'll see you on stage.
Yes.
I believe it.
You will. I am going to make it.
People just lose. It's grit. Right? Managing your emotions is what's the difference between you got and the box somebody else got. You could take the box and just get sexy and become a sexy beast, and that's cool. You can create unlimited impact.
Jess, hang on one second. I'm gonna, there's some interference. Go ahead.
One of the biggest differences is just grit. It's stepping out like Sophia and going, it's me. I'm that person. I'm a 6-figure earner in this company. I will do this. I will do it by this date. I will feel grateful for that happening. Eric Hoover gave me this great advice. So I believe so much that I will tell you that people are going to try to explain away your success, right? I know, Angela, they've got to say, like, you probably had a big network before this company, and that's how you enrolled so many people.
You were the first to start it in Brooklyn, they
Oh,
said.
yeah. You were the first.
Okay.
It's a 14-year-old company. You were the first, so thank you. I live in, Jimmy Smith lives 35 minutes away from me, okay? And people give me a million reasons. And now they tell me everybody in Collegeville is doing it. And I'm not joking, guys. I live in a 75-home community. 2 weeks ago, my neighbor approaches me, my direct neighbor, and she goes, "What's this Isogenics I see at your door, at your curb, this recycling?" I enrolled my direct neighbor after almost 3 years. She didn't even know what I was doing. People tell me my whole town is saturated. I laugh. Like, I look around my grocery store and I go, really? There's so many people in here to enroll. I keep enrolling. That's another thing. I bet, Angela, you're doing the exact same thing. People look at me and they go, oh, it's no one wants to do it. I still enroll 2 to 6 people every single week. If I don't, I'm planting seeds to do it the next week. If you want to know how I do it, because it's about the number of conversations. So when I ran sales teams, guys, everything comes down to a mathematical equation. So a mathematical equation is literally just, when I enrolled 36 people in December, when people tell me December is a slow month, it's not that slow. 36 people said they wanted to do it. But I had probably had 360 conversations. And so you adjust your daily method of operation to determine how many people do you want to enroll. Because this is what I tell my team. If you want to enroll 2 people a week, I think you should probably have 20 serious conversations. That seems like a lot of conversations, except when you think if you only worked on weekdays and you only had 4 conversations a day, that's 20. And some weeks I go, you know what? I want to see how many people. I'd like to enroll 5 people this week. Cool. That means I have to have 50 conversations, 10 a day. And it's a lot easier to have conversations than people think. People think, like, they make this so difficult. If you are just curious about people, I'm not joking you. I've enrolled people when I've been getting a spray tan. If you can enroll someone in a state of semi-undress, you can enroll anyone. Yeah. I've enrolled the woman, I bought a gift for my daughter at Nordstrom. I enrolled her the other day. I enrolled a woman. Okay, I'm going to get real and raw. I wish I could show you a picture. Ed, I apologize. If there's any other men on this call, I apologize. Do you guys know what a melanage peel is? I don't know if you can see now. My face is still peeling from it. A melanage peel is a peel that you wear for 10 hours. It's not clear. It's white. I wish I had a picture. I could probably show you a picture. You probably can't see. But imagine I have a white. Imagine you look like a mime. And so my foster son has a visit at a playground. And I don't care. There's a danger. It becomes dangerously awesome when you don't care what other people think. And I don't care what they think. So I'm wearing a melanage peel. And I'm going about, and I take my foster son to his visit with his dad at a park. And there were 3 really interesting moms standing there. And I'm literally standing there with this melanage peel, and one of them enrolls. Because you just connect with people. And honestly, how do you connect with people? You find some common connection with them. You laugh at yourself. I sit there talking to them like, you guys are so awesome. Because you're talking to me as if something's not weird, as if you don't think I just came from a mime convention. I love that. And the one girl enrolled just because you just can laugh at yourself. You have common connection. People say, like, how do you establish rapport with people fast? Or people. So I just ask them some questions. And it's amazing. It's cool. Where are you from? Did you play any sports in high school? Do you have any kids? Do you have any pets? Do you like dogs? Do you trust people who don't like dogs? I love dogs. I love dogs. When people tell me they don't like dogs, I'm like, I like you, but we're just not going to ever be on the same lily pad. I love dogs. But if you love dogs, I'm like, wait, what kind of dogs do you like? Big or little? Do you have any dogs? Do you have a dog growing up? I mean, like, there's so many different things you can connect with people about. And don't you just like people who are like you? Right?
Yeah. Jess, when you connect with people, are you more product focused or are you more business focused, or do you just keep it together? Is it kind of one unified thing for you? Because in the beginning, I was very passionate about the products, but I felt very nervous and faux pas mentioning the money part because, God forbid, I didn't want them to think I was making $1. Now I'm so excited. I'm like, oh my God, and you can get this for free and you can sign up friends. How did you begin your business? Was it both?
My business, I mean, to be honest with you, I think a lot of really successful people have started because people have noticed your product transformation and you're excited about the products, right? But I think that they make the mistake of not helping people, not giving the compensation plan, not giving them the opportunity. So I have a lot of consultants. If I enroll you, you're probably coming on with two. A lot of my biggest builders now tell me they didn't even think it was an option not to have two people. They were like, I thought it was a requirement.
What
Because
did you say in the beginning to make them think? Because Lauren Sims did a call for us and she gave us some wonderful verbiage. She's like, okay, wonderful. I'm so glad you're signing up. Which two are you bringing with you? And they're like, oh, I don't know. She goes, girl, if you were my best friend and you waited 30 days to tell me about something this great, I'd be pissed at you. And she made it seem so simple, like, duh. How do you get them to go to consultant almost right away? What's the verbiage?
So Lauren's amazing, I will tell you. Not everyone has that kind of blazing red personality like Lauren. So that's like something I would be comfortable saying that because I'm red too. And you're red. So you'd probably be really comfortable talking to people like that. What I tell people is, like, think about it. There's probably a couple of reasons why people will share with two people. But when they have their credit card out and they're spending money, what's the number one thing they care about? That they're going to get great results, right? It's going to justify their purchase. So I tell people, listen, if we get you this box and it's going to come to you're making this investment, you're going to get really good results. Would you rather blow your mind? Would you rather have the best results of anyone you've ever seen? Because I've seen a lot of people succeed, and the single biggest determinant for success, single biggest, without a question, is accountability. If I tell you I'm going to the gym tomorrow at 5 a.m, I may or may not show up. If you meet me there, I'll be there and we'll kick ass. I tell people accountability. When you find two people that will do it with you, it's money back guarantee. There's no risk. And she's right. The person who told me about it is one of my neighbors. She waited a while to tell me. And now I look back, I'm like, dude, what were you waiting for? Yeah, I was 6 weeks. I was miserable. I was slipping in jeans that didn't even fit, wrestling, laying on my bed, trying to get them to zipper. And you're meanwhile feeling great and feeling like you're swallowed unicorn dust.
Yeah.
Why are we waiting? So Lauren has a great point. I will tell people it's accountability. And it's getting really late. I could spend a whole night telling you guys there's like 5 reasons why people will share with two. But you need to find out what are they motivated by. Like, a lot of people go, oh, well, you get your products for free. I'll be like, I already spent that money. That goes on a credit card. I don't know if you guys, some people have a money blueprint that just says, like, get it for free. I already paid for it. I'm not into that. Who cares? But then there's other people that are like, wait, recognition is so awesome. They recognize consultants. It's so cool. I want my name up there. I don't care about the money. I'm really interested in, like, being recognized. That feels really good to me. Or there's people that just want to help other people. Like Denise Wiggins literally became a consultant. She was new to people that she was like, this would help them.
Yeah.
She didn't care about the money. She didn't care about the recognition. She cared about helping other people. But then, you know what? Another one we miss big time is a big missed opportunity is people want to help you. And so sometimes you say, like, if you share this, I'm running for a massive goal. And when you share this with two people, it'll help me tremendously. Is there anybody that's seeing your results that you think would love this program?
Yeah, we talked about that today because sometimes they won't willingly post on Facebook for themselves. But if you say, I'm running for this rank advancement, it's called Crystal Director, it will help me a great deal. Would you mind posting on my behalf? You know, because I really am dedicated to grow. For you, they will do it. For themselves, they may or may not.
Right.
So that's a wonderful point. Your mindset is so strong. Your belief is 100% in every area. I feel the confidence just pouring out of your pores. What did you do to grow yourself so strong? Because there must have been some point where you were shitting bricks, you know, to walk away from this corporate gig and say, am I crazy? Am I, you know, so how did you grow yourself to be so strong, to be so confident? Because you tell people to listen to podcasts and read books and go to events, and then they spend all the time doing the other stuff and not doing the work, having the conversations. And I think it has to be a very healthy mixture of both.
Yeah. So if people ask me what they should read, like if you're just saying like, hey, what should I read, and stop getting mired. That if all you're going to do is read and think your business is going to be worth a lot of money, then that's crazy, right? You got to do the work. But if you're going to ask me about what books that I like Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. It's so important. The power, it's not just envisioning what you want to happen, it's the emotion behind it. Lock in on it for 7 seconds and it's magic. Excuse Me, Your Life is Waiting by Lynn Grabhorn. It's so valuable. And then The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, get that on Audible. You get a hard copy. You get that on your Kindle. You just keep reading that, because one of the biggest problems, guys, is the identity disconnect, and it's the money blueprint. And if you think you're worth $30,000 a year, you're never going to make more than 30 in Isagenix until you figure it out.
Yeah.
So those are the two.
That's a tough one, Jess, because many of us were, city workers, not really taught, what woman grows up in Brooklyn to an immigrant family and is taught you're going to be a millionaire? Most of us were taught as kids, grow up, go to college, get a pension, get good health insurance, and you'll be okay. So, I love that point. Growing yourself is so important, because you're only going to go as far as you grow.
Yes.
I mean, that's really important. And getting to that event, guys, she didn't want to go. This crazy millionaire lady pushed her, forced her to get there. And she walked out of there completely changed, and that's what my first celebration did for me. I saw Lisa DeMeo, divorced mom of 3, on stage, a millionaire. Herb Cepeda, New York State Trooper, millionaire. And you walk out of there just feeling so fired up, like Tracy O'Malley says, 10 feet tall and bulletproof. And you think in your mind, why can't I? Why don't I deserve this? Mm-hmm. And then it completely changes your whole thought process. Mm-hmm. And you come home and a lot of your fears and apprehensions are subsided by that fire, mm-hmm. right? So, go ahead.
And then the more people that you can get with you to go to an event, if you have to just tell people, let's just take a girls' weekend and go to, and get to Texas, go with me.
Yeah.
Just go with me. Let's go to see the Riverwalk and see what it's all about. Let's just go. And then see it. We'll have some fun. Get some free product. Enjoy it. It's just a girls' weekend. Get as many people there because a lot of people won't want to go. They're going to say no the first time you ask them. Don't accept no. Yeah. That's another reason Angela, you probably enroll so many people, is the follow-up. It's all this business is just follow-up. And if you can do it in a tasteful way, that's awesome. But I still send a ton of messages to people. So I connect with people on Facebook. If Mark Zuckerberg suggests that we connect, we should connect, right? Like yes. He suggests friends for me all the time. I think that's so sweet of him. And he says, like, Jessica, you should be friends with these people. I'm like, I don't even know these people, Mark, but if you're suggesting it, let's be friends. So a lot of times I go through, I usually try to do this on a Friday. I go through, and if you go to your friends tab, it'll let you filter by recently added. And so then I message those people. Don't be tacky enough. Like the Rodan Fields people or coach that they're going to friend me, and then they're going to go, hey, do you need some blemish control? Like they write me right away and they go, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. I went, whatever. And I have a great friend that's a Lexus driving person, Rodan Fields, and we always talk about their styles are different. So I didn't mean to really call them out. I didn't mean that in a derogatory way. Regardless, what I would do is once a week, I send a message and I go, oh my gosh, Margot, thank you so much for accepting my request. And I'll look at her profile and I go, listen, I sent you a friend request because I thought we might know each other. And I just looked at your profile and I realized we don't know each other. We didn't meet at the barbecue I thought maybe we met at. But here's the thing. I noticed that you have twins. I have twins. I'm so glad we're connected. Your posts are hilarious. I'm awesome being connected with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I do that.
Being interested in them, finding a common ground, just looking forward to making a new friend and not so much making the sale, and not being so mental and weird about it. Just looking more to just create friends. Just that connection. And you never know, you really might find a great friend out of this.
I found some really great friends in other network marketing companies, and some have come over, and that's not my agenda. My agenda is like, how many people could I love in this life? How many people could I meet and love? But the other thing I'll tell you is one of the things that I've really encouraged my team to do that is awesome, the best prospecting tool in the whole world, is using Facebook Voice Messenger when it's people's birthday. And so if it's your birthday, every single day I go through and do this, and I say, Jen, I just saw on Facebook it's your birthday. I wanted to take a second and just wish you the most fabulous day. I hope today is the first day of one of the best years of your entire life. Enjoy. I love being connected with you. And a lot of people I don't know. I have a network of, I don't know everybody in my network. And I'll look at their Facebook and I go, I don't know them. And I will sometimes say that. I'll say, I have no idea how we ever connected, but I love your post about, rabbits, and I'm so glad we're connected. You're awesome. I hope you have a fabulous day.
But it makes someone feel great. I got a birthday message from you, and I was like, oh, she took the time.
Everyone,
nice.
I'm connected with you on Facebook, and you haven't got one, then shame on me. Then you caught me that on a crazy day. But I try to go back if I miss and just tell them, like, I am sorry I was remiss and I missed your birthday. But the coolest thing is I'm still celebrating you. Like, and just honestly, doesn't that feel good? What do people feel good about? They love hearing their own name. Don't you love hearing the sound? It's the greatest, it's the most beautiful sound to someone is the sound of your own name. That's human nature. And when someone hears their own name, they hear your voice, they know that you took time out of your day. And this is nothing about Isagenix. And by the way, once you realize how good that feels, when you see somebody in their profile picture and their shoes are just banging, you send them a voice memo and go, dude, your shoes on point all day long, those shoes. Just want to let you know, you look amazing. Because it doesn't have anything to do with Isagenix, but it's just about making someone feel awesome. And if we just set a goal in this one team that we're going to leave so many people better than we found them, we win. It will attract so many people to you, believe me, because you become a magnet. People look at you and they go, that person is good. They're not negative. They're not whining. They're not wasting people's time, blah, blah, blah. I look at the news and I'm like, can you know how many people I could have enrolled in the time it took you to write that negative status and like spread your negativity around to other people? Do you know how many people we could have impacted? Do you know how many like foster applications you could have filled out? Do you know how many times we could have taken my little guy to the park and shown him like love that he'd never seen in the time it took you to be that negative? But if you're the person who spreads a ripple of positive impact, believe me, it boomerangs back to you 100-fold.
For sure. And, not everyone feels so comfortable connecting and reaching out. I know that many are shy and a little white personality and more introverted. But quite honestly, I feel that the more you do it, the easier it gets. And, exactly what you say, it feels good. You want to do more. I love sending gifts to my team. I like reaching out to them. I love doing these inspirational calls because it makes me feel good. So the more you do it, I feel that the easier it will get. And I love what you said that, it really, you have an ability to touch so many lives, really on an emotional level. I want to ask you, how do you keep that vision going? So we talked about the 2 to 3 star Bermuda Triangle, right? So people are running fast. They hit Crystal Manager, they hit Crystal Director, and then 1 falls off, and then 2 fall off, and then they lose the oomph, the drive to get to executive. How do you keep that fire within them? Because I know a lot of it is internal motivation. I know a lot of it comes from events and doing the things that you're required. But what can we do as coaches, as leaders on the team to inspire our folks to see the goodness in them like Janny saw in you?
So when you have people that are wanting it, like I have a few people, I have 2 girls right now that we just ran them to Crystal Executive. And that's what Janny did for me. She got so obsessed with my business that she knew she would be like, Barb needs one more. And I wouldn't even know who she was talking about, but she knew my business so cold. And that's what I did with these girls. And Janny would do for me what I call driving the line. So one of the girls, her name's Erin Parker. She's number 33 millionaire in action. She started, I'm going to say it's the second week in June. She at Crystal Executive, she maxed out the executive pools. She's an ER nurse with a firefighter husband. And I just kept casting the vision for her. Erin, do you know what's possible? What would make this worth your time? And she said, I'd love to be able to spend more time with home with my 2 kids. And I said, what would that take? How much would that take? And we figured it out and we did the math. And I said, all right, we're going Crystal Executive to map it out. We mapped out the Crystal Executive roadmap, and then we drove the line. And that means that, she has a girl that she enrolled named Shannon. And so I did a welcome call for Shannon. And I said, Shannon, what would it take? Do you know what's possible? Do you know what you're a part of? Erin's going to do what I did and pass me. You go with her. You be an Adrian or a Barb or a Janelle, some of my leaders that people know. They were some of the people with me in the beginning. Go with her. Let me help you. And we did that for her person, Kara. And we just kept shoring it up because you don't fall out of executive when you have 10 people who see the vision. And you go to an event and you take 10 people with you, you're Crystal Executive and you won't fall out because those people will get it too. Right?
So you think us as leaders, so let's say Janny said, pick 3. So of course, being a red, I had to pick 6. But you pick 3 and you really become obsessed with them, with their business, I should say. So we get them to do the roadmap to Crystal Executive, know who they enrolled, help them with 3-way phone calls, be there to support them. Where are you at? How many calls? And really just stay on them. Is there anything else that Janny did that perhaps we could implement or that you implement in your business? She's magnificent. She really she will take the time out to speak to anyone. She is really like angel on earth, and she, not just for her team, but she is that loving and that giving. She's done a team call for us, and she stayed on with us for about 2 hours.
She's fabulous, and she has so much inside of her, and she really is one of the most gifted mentors. I also think that there's a lot of power in the numbers. And so when you just get to understand I understand the numbers pretty well from my background, but I'll tell you guys, it's easy to understand the numbers, right? So you're going to have people in your business and in your team's business that you're going to look at and you go, whoa, your business is worth $2,000 a week right now, and you've never enrolled a single person. Know how to do that math, right? So you look at the bank volume and you divide by 600. You guys all know that, right? You guys know that. Hillary Courtney told me that it takes, if you're a brand new person, if you started rising and you had 3 Crystal Executives and 6 Crystal Directors all rising at once, that's a 3-star.
6 Crystal Directors. I think I've heard her do this call. 6 Crystal Directors and 3 Crystal Executives.
That's what she says is the math. I'll tell you this. So, who was the person that said, I'm sorry, who was the person that said that they were in the
Sophia Valares.
Sophia, okay, so.
Would you believe that Sophia, I'm sorry to interrupt you, is the top enroller in the Hispanic community, and she enrolls like a machine.
I love it.
Yeah, but she is struggling to get to that 3-star because what she's doing is not often duplicatable. Not everyone can enroll like her. What do you think she needs to do a little better to help her get to that 3-star?
I wish you could enroll your way to a 6-figure income because Angela, I would have tried to do it because I love to enroll. But it really is just getting obsessed with rank advancing people. People don't have to be an enroller like you.
That's the problem. My people, they don't want to do it. They don't want nothing to do it. It's like I've tried everything. I mean, me and Angela, and the ones that I do have do it, the consultants that I have made, I practically run their business. So I'm like running like 7 different businesses at the same time because they will not even enroll their own people.
So you're right. Stop that immediately, right? Because that's not sustainable for anyone. You'll burn out. But you're going to find new people. Like I have a girl who stayed active, went to every event, She was doing okay. And let's say she cycled 5 times a week, 6 times a week. She was doing fine. She enrolled a bunch of people. But here's what happens. What happens is because she stayed consistent, a girl came in on her where she needed volume, blew it up. Okay, and so it changed her business. It then changed her momentum. She went to executive, but the girl blowing it up is having this awesome, it's changing her business. So what I would say to you is you're going to keep working to find new people, because there are people out there that have more motivation than you, Sophia. They will pull you instead of you dragging them.
Yeah.
You just
That's
have
what I
to
told Angela. I just got to find those people. I
She's-
guess it's just the
She's
people
very
who are-
maternal, Sophia. She likes to do everything for
Don't do
everybody.
it.
I'm
Don't do
like,
it.
stop it. I'm like, show them and then clip the wings. That's it. Let
If
them
you
go.
don't
Let
trust
them go.
yourself, do it for
They
them.
won't do it. They won't do it. I'll
sorry
just,
for you.
yeah.
So here's what I'll leave you guys. And there's so much I want to tell you. There's so much about the numbers that I'd love to teach. But what I'll tell you is this. One of the advice that I got from Eric Coover that was so good early on is he would tell me it's about attracting people. And do you guys do this in the morning? Today, I allow myself to attract people who are. Does everybody already do that?
No.
And does it change your business? So let me go through it with you again. Every morning, pen to paper, guys, not on your cell phone, not typing on your computer, pen to paper, reticular activating system. It's so important. Today, I allow myself to attract people who are. And then you're writing down what kind of people that you want to attract. And every day, people go, you write that every day? Isn't it the same? Heck no, it's not the same. Because in the night, I dream about someone and I think, coachable. Today, I allow myself to attract people who are coachable, who are centers of influence, who are ready for change, who have incredible belief in themselves, who are well-spoken, articulate, funny, and fun. Tomorrow, it might be something totally different. But you guys will be blown away by the kind of people that show up in your business when you start being intentional about attracting them there. You blow your own mind who comes. I really believe that you don't meet people by accident. God drops people in your life. And truly, you are attracting them. You are attracting them with pen to paper.
Yeah.
And when someone like Sophia says, I'm a 6-figure earner in Isagenix, there's power in that. There's power in writing it down. There's power in believing that people flock into my business with ease. Angela, you said I have a lot of belief. You know why? Every morning I tell myself, people flock into your business with ease. You attract some masterful winners into your business. You attract people that are ready to make a massive impact with you. And I tell people like, I'm training on some of this in I'm training on so many different things that I want to tell you guys about. But when people say, how do you cast the vision? This is what I say to people. I say, listen, I can tell talking to you, you're a really fill in the blank, interesting, dynamic, influential, magnetic person. Sophia, I can tell you really have a way of engaging with people and make them want to do what you do. Do you keep your options open for additional income? Notice I didn't say a nice agenda.
Yes.
People automatically, do you keep your options open for additional income? Most people will say, well, who doesn't? Okay, awesome. Well, do you have any idea what you're sitting on? Because you own a virtual franchise. You're a virtual franchise owner with an unlimited income opportunity. Like my neighbor in GNC, the vitamin store GNC, they're locally owned. It's a franchise, but they're local franchisees. And then one of our neighbors owns a couple of them around here. His name's Tim. And I'm like, Tim owns a franchise, right? It's GNC. And people think Tim's a genius, except for he's not that big of a genius because he's got some razor thin margins on protein powders. And he only has customers that happen to walk into his store. I have a franchise that's virtual and global. And by the way, I'm paid based on every single person in that distribution. So if I have a customer in my virtual franchise that brings on another customer, we're paid based on the entire distribution. Do you ever have thoughts about owning your own business? And so I always ask people, are you open to additional income? Do you have any idea what's possible? Because a lot of people have misconceptions. I started earlier talking about how people have an identity misalignment. and they don't see themselves in network marketing. But you know what their beliefs about network marketing? If they, if we've gotten past the pyramid scheme, a lot of people think people in network marketing really aren't making very much money. That's a big conception around people. And then some people will say, there's only a few people, only the Ed Goldens are making money in these schemes. And that just makes me laugh. And I look around like, all right, well, I was millionaire number 168 in January. Deanna was 200. What were you, Angela?
193.
Guys, are you kidding me? Do you think we were on to something? You're talking about 30-some millionaires?
I came in 3 years ago. Lisa DeMeo was number 93. In 3 years before my eyes, I have watched 100 people do it, and now 10 more people after me now have done it. This is just it's just deciding when it's your turn.
Yeah,
It's
there are
gonna
people there, and it's a season. And I also tell people, if it's not your season, give yourself permission, because I know that anxiety of when you're trying to be something and it's not your time. So give yourself permission. If there's people on your team, it's not their season or time, give them grace. This is not your time or season.
Yeah.
Okay, give them grace. But I tell people, listen, you're on a freaking, do you understand what you're a part of? You got a 14-year-old company with 2 clinical studies with products that have emotional and visual results. And we've got only 600,000 people out of 7 billion people using this product. Do you understand the kind of runway? Because I've been in a lot of companies. I was in a fifth employee of a company that sold for $250 million. I know a good opportunity when I see one, but there's never been better timing than this company. There's never. And so I tell people, you want to do something magnificent, this is your time.
Yeah.
When I'm talking to people about, you ask me like when I'm talking about, I go, if you want to add a ridiculous stream of income to your financial portfolio, you don't have to leave your job. But if do you want to add a residual stream to your financial portfolio, this is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, I'd never even heard of network marketing before I got here. And, like being here, hearing from the professionals, they're like, honey, if this is your first company, you have struck gold. And now the longer I'm here, I meet girls from It Works, from Arbonne, and I hear from Mary Kay, I hear the differences in the compensation plan. And my thought is, why isn't everyone doing this? I mean, it really is magnificent. You have seen, 30 different compensation plans. So for you to be here, that gives me a lot of validity that this is definitely the right place.
I love talking to people from other companies too, and just so you know, like I was
It grows you.
I barely got a workout in because a woman was in Juice Plus for 10 years, and she came up to me and she was just like, I'm going back to work.
Yeah.
She's been in another company because it's not easy.
Yeah.
Well, other people don't have what you have in this company.
Yeah. I met a girl from Young Teak, and she said that since she's had to go back to work, her entire thing is gone because her immediate people aren't selling enough. I couldn't even fathom what that meant. I was like, what do you mean? I have 20,000 people, and anytime someone orders a shake, I get paid. It's not like that for you. She goes, no, I have my immediate circle, and if I'm not there to cheer them on, if they're not selling a certain amount of volume, I don't get paid. Like, it was so overwhelming. I was like, that's just way over the top for me. I was like, we just drink shakes and recommend it to friends. Like, it was, so we're very lucky. We're very fortunate to be here. I mean, do you guys have any questions for Jessica? Because I feel like I could just go on and ask her all night. I don't want to keep her too long, but I would love to.
I know it's late. Thank you so much.
It's late, and you're wonderful, and this is so valuable. And, Jess started just like all of you. One on the left, one on the right. She had friends that thought she was crazy, just like all of us. But she was determined and dedicated, just like you guys. I mean, this is somebody just like you who did it, millionaire in 2 years. So make that line in the sand and just make the decision that you're doing it. You're going for it. That, it's as simple as that, the decision. 3 to 4 conversations a day, 60 to 80 conversations a month will get you the enrollments that you need to get to that 6-figure income. And creating consultants, sharing the vision, just keeping it going. So I would love for you guys to just unmute yourself, ask a question if you have one.
This is Angela.
Hi, Angela.
Hi. I just want to say that I was at the event in the DMV, I think Virginia, last month. Saw you speak. So I loved your story, and so when I heard that you were going to be on our call, I got really excited. And just your story with thing that Isagenix allowed you to do, it was even better hearing it the second time. Thank you.
That's Ed Golden's sister, another Golden.
Oh, wow. That's a powerhouse bunch of DNA.
Anyone else? Any questions or comments? Thank you, Ange.
Hi, Ange. Hi, Jess. I just want to say I love Jessica's story. Jess, at ICU last year, everything that you said, and one other thing that you didn't say tonight was the pianos. I think it was your daughter's piano concert. And how you had to watch it on FaceTime. Your why definitely helps me shape my why, and I think that you're absolutely incredible. Almost all my girls are on here tonight, new, old, and they all blown away by your story.
No, I hope you come to NYKO because I'm so excited about what we're going to do.
I booked it.
Yeah, NYKO.
Vicky hit 4-star and made the Star 1000.
So awesome.
Really proud of her.
Good
Anyone
job.
else? Anyone else? Any questions for Jessica before we end it?
Thank you so much, Jessica. I love this call. Thank you.
6-figure earner, Sophia Velarez, top enroller in the Hispanic market. Woo!
Can't wait to see you in Minnesota.
Get to
NYKO.
Saturday.
We're all
Get
going.
to NYKO. Your business, your life, your family's life depends on it. I'm going to unmute. If we can give her a big woohoo at the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Yes, we can, guys. Yes, you can. You all can.
Thank you. You're
So
magnificent.
good. Thank you, guys. Have a great night.
You